Hi everyone, welcome to iExamB. I am Pratik Taldar, Chartered Accountant and your Accounts Faculty at iExamB. इस वीडियो में हम बात करेंगे हाउ टू अप्रोच द NABARD फाइनेंस फेज 2 एग्जामिनेशन। दोनों की ही बात करेंगे, बोथ डिस्क्रिप्टिव एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव। तो ये एक डेमो वीडियो है जहाँ पे आपको डिस्क्रिप्टिव एज वेल एज ऑब्जेक्टिव की स्ट्रैटेजी शेयर की गई है कि आपको उसको कैसे प्रिपेयर करना है। यहाँ पे काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें शेयर की गई है कि सबसे पहले आपको एक नॉलेज बेस बनाना पड़ेगा। आपके पास पहले कंटेंट होना चाहिए लिखने के लिए, राइट। नॉलेज बेस बनाने के बाद रिकॉल करना भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। यूजुअली हमको वो चीज़ें नहीं याद आती जो हमने पढ़ी हैं, हमको वो चीज़ें याद आती है जो हमने लास्ट टाइम रिकॉल करने का ट्राई किया था। तो रिवीजन यहाँ पे बहुत ही ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है। उसके बाद आपको ऑर्गेनाइज करके उसको लिखना आना चाहिए, राइट। तो सबसे पहले आपका नॉलेज बेस क्लियर होना चाहिए, नॉलेज बेस बना हुआ होना चाहिए, फिर आपको रिकॉल करना आना चाहिए, आपकी प्रैक्टिस होनी चाहिए उसको रिकॉल करने की, एंड देन यू नीड टू ऑर्गेनाइज दैट एंड राइट। और आंसर आपको एक स्ट्रक्चर्ड फॉर्मेट में लिखना होगा, वो भी इस वीडियो के अंदर डिस्कस किया गया है। सो आई होप इस वीडियो से आपको काफ़ी सारी गाइडेंस मिलेगी ऑन हाउ टू राइट डिस्क्रिप्टिव एंड हाउ टू अप्रोच द ऑब्जेक्टिव पार्ट। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट द डिस्कशन।
So guys, NABARD Finance Phase 2. So first of all, I'll be guiding you on the approach regarding the descriptive part. Then we will be moving to the approach regarding objective part. Okay. I'll be also discussing some important topics. Okay. So the purpose of telling you the important topics is to keep your focus more on these topics. Everything which we'll be discussing in these regular classes are important. Okay. Plus the time management, which is the most essential part of this examination. So let's start, guys. First, I'll start with the examination pattern. You already know, but still, just a quick revision, just a quick glance of the examination pattern. When talking about objective questions, we are having 30 questions of 50 marks in total. Some questions will be covering, some questions will be having a weightage of 2 marks and some will be having a weightage of 1 marks. And you will be having 30 minutes to answer these questions. So as you must have guys gone through the PYPs, or if not, then please go through it once. So questions na काफी para based होते हैं. Questions are para based also. Okay, one paragraph is given and few MCQs are asked below. Okay, so the MCQs may or may not be related, okay, to the paragraph. So sometimes they give you the related paragraph of a case scenario that say for example Russia-Ukraine war, and they'll ask you certain questions regarding that, okay, economy related or finance related. So this is how the objectives, and some of the objectives are cleanly direct questions, so no worries on that. Next, talking about the descriptive type. Here we are having 6 questions, which is divided into 3 questions of 10 mark each and 3 questions of 15 mark each. So here you are having an option. You can attempt 2 questions from here and 2 questions from here. So this will be again constituting 50%, and you will be having 90 minutes to attempt these questions. I'll be sharing a detailed analysis on these 90 minutes, like how you should manage and all. Okay, no worries on that. Okay. So please be patient on the time management strategy. First, we will be discussing some points on the descriptive type examination. Then we will be moving to the objective type examination, and then I'll be telling you the time management strategy. Okay. So first of all, what should be our approach in tackling the descriptive paper? How to tackle basically the descriptive is the question here. First of all, it is applicable for objective as well as descriptive. Read the question carefully. बहुत ध्यान से पढ़ो question को. Sometimes question is asking something else and we are answering something else, right? It happens in a hurry. Identify what the question's requirement is. Okay, read the question carefully, and after reading the question carefully, mind mapping karo. What is mind mapping? If a question comes in front of me, first I'll take few seconds or a minute to identify what are the key points I should write in this question. Okay, what are the key points I should cover in this question? Next is to follow a structured approach. By structured approach, I mean you must be able to give a quick introduction of whatever question you have been asked, body of the question, that is the main crux, okay, and a conclusion. Okay, introduction, body, and conclusion. So like this, you will be answering all the questions. Okay, that's the proper way of answering a question, so that the examiner also get a comfort level ki haan proper bifurcation hai between introduction, body, and conclusion. So that's a good way of answering any question. Okay, rather than writing just a paragraph like this. Okay, better to break the para in introduction, body, and last conclusion. This is a good approach, I would say, a structured approach. Okay, this will always help you gaining more marks, I would say. Next is effective time management, which is the main part of the game. Why? Because you may be, knowing all the questions, you may know all the answers to the question, but in case you fall short of time, or आप डिटेल में लिखते रह गए एक ही क्वेश्चन को, दो क्वेश्चन को, so you will not be able to gain the time advantage, right? Knowing is not enough. You should be able to attempt that in a timely manner. That's more important, I will say. And practice and some more practice is the key, because this is a kind of descriptive paper. What happens in objective paper, आपने कुछ चीजें पढ़ी, okay, वो कैरी फॉरवर्ड हो जाती है and you are able to remember जब आप एग्जामिनेशन में होते हैं. But that's not the case with descriptive paper. Descriptive paper में you need to remember, I will say, the content is very, very, huge as compared to a objective based paper. Because in objective based paper you just need to remember the concept. Here you need to write the concept, explain the concept, right, in a simple language, in an effective way, right, and that too in a timely manner. That's the challenge. Say for example, if I talk about, if I give you a question, explain the entire accounting process. So कुछ लोगों की first class होगी, and few students got a chance to interact with me and discuss regarding this accounting process in our basic class, right, first class. So can you think and tell me, in case if this questions comes up in the examination, explain the entire accounting process. So just try to remember the key points which you will be including in your answer. Okay, Shivam is saying recording, classifying, summarizing, very good. And शिवम ने कुछ मिस कर दिया हो तो can you please fill the gap, guys? अगर आपको लग रहा है कि शिवम ने कुछ points मिस किए हैं. Analysis, okay. Recording, transaction, summarizing, okay. So आपको थोड़ा थोड़ा ऊपर से याद है, okay. You guys are not able to recollect that accounting process in detail. So that's what the main problem is. You have studied the accounting process somewhere, but when it comes to recalling that memory, it's very difficult. That's the problem. अगर अभी कोई question आ जाएगा, okay, if some objective type of question comes from this topic, you will be definitely be able to answer that question. But that's not the case with a descriptive answer, because here you need to have the knowledge base, plus you need to recall the knowledge base from your memory, okay, and you need to jot it down, okay, you need to type that in an organized manner. So 3 issues are there. पहला issue, सबसे पहले तो feed that thing in your memory, right? There should be knowledge base. Second issue, you are not able to recall it when you need that. And third issue, once you recall the things, you are not able to organize that in a proper way. So 3 aspects are there in descriptive paper. So just by studying things won't help. You need to continuously revise them and try to recall them. Say for example, if I studied accounting process here, okay, now after 15 minutes or 13 minutes, I will close my book, I will close my PDF, and I'll just sit and try to recall what I have learned. Okay, so आप देखोगे सिर्फ 60 to 70% आप recall कर पाओगे. Even if you give a gap of 15 minutes, 30 minutes, you will be able to recall only 60% or 70% of the answer. और अगले दिन अगर recall कर लिया तो फिर भगवान ही मान ले के 40%, 50%. Okay, if you try to recall it next day, then सब साफ हो जाता है. So that is the issue with descriptive paper. So how to tackle? First of all, when I taught you accounting process, तो आपको एक diagram याद आएगा. So first thing is to study करो diagrammatic form में, okay, pictorial format में. That will help you to gain a pictorial memory. जो picture वाली memory होती है ना, उसको सबसे recall बहुत easily होता है. Okay, so pictorial memory you can easily recall. First thing is not recording, it is identification and measuring of financial transaction. Identification and measuring of financial transaction. First, you need to identify whether this is a financial transaction or not. If yes, it is a financial transaction, then very good. You can go ahead and record it in the books of accounts. Say for example, if I hired a CFO, or if I fired a CFO, that is not a financial transaction. But the moment I paid him the salary, it becomes a financial transaction. So only financial transactions are recorded in books of accounts. Okay. Next is recording. You correctly mentioned. Okay, most of you correctly mentioned. Where do we record transaction? In journal. Great. Then is classification in ledger. Then is summarizing in 3 statements: trial balance, trading P&L account, and balance sheet. Then we have analysis and interpretation of the data which we prepared. And next is communicating to the users. So this is the accounting process. I hope few of you are able to recall that when we studied in our first or second class, though बहुत time हो गया, पर maybe few of you are able to recall it, this chart. So this chart should be in your mind always. Okay. So that is the first one I will say. Creating a memory, creating a knowledge base in your memory. Chart की help से बहुत easily हो जाता है. The moment you have this chart in your mind, it will be easier for you to memorize it and to recall it. तो 2 चीजें आपकी sorted हो जाएगी, memory and recalling. बचेगी jot down करने वाली चीज. Okay. Let's discuss about this also. So in our regular classes, we have also learned about journal and ledger in detail. Like what is journal? It is the book of primary entry. All the transactions are recorded in chronological order. So this becomes your explanation part. Okay, this becomes your explanation part. When you see these pictures and all, graphics and all, so this helps you to remember more. That is very essential for any kind of descriptive paper, I will say. The more pictorial memory, the more charts you will create, the more pictorial memory, the more graphics you create, it will help you with the recalling part and memorizing part. Next, if I talk about ledger, it's a book of primary entry. If I talk about journal, it is a entry level detail. यहाँ तो सिर्फ entries होती है. And when I talk about ledger, it is a account level detail, right? This is a RAM account level detail. So this was about journal and ledger. Next, what do we have? Summarize. We need to summarize this. Where to summarize? The first statement is trial balance. What is trial balance? Summary of all the closing balances of ledgers. So whatever is there in ledger, जो भी ledger के अंदर closing balance बच जाता है, वो trial balance के अंदर आ जाता है. And the most important keyword you need to remember is arithmetical accuracy. Arithmetical accuracy. Why? Because here in trial balance, debit is equal to credit. That is a arithmetical accuracy check कि journal और ledger में अभी तक सब सही हुआ है. Everything is fine with the journal and ledger. If I talk about again another statement, trading and P&L account. So this shows what does trading and P&L account shows, guys? Financial performance or financial position? Anyone? Financial performance or financial position? So ये भी आपका एक point बन गया. Okay, if you are writing trading P&L account, you can write that this statement shows the financial performance. If I talk about just the trading account, it shows me the gross profit or gross loss, just the direct and indirect expenses. And if I talk about my P&L account, it contains all the indirect expenses and indirect income as well, and it shows my net profit. Overall, this shows my financial performance, right? And when I talk about balance sheet, this shows my financial position. कि position क्या चल रही है, right? When I link it to the traditional concept of accounting, okay, which we studied in the basic class. So traditional concept of accounting, we studied that all the personal and real account goes into balance sheet, and all the nominal accounts goes into trading P&L account. This also you can add. अगर content कम पड़ रहा है तो add करने के लिए बहुत कुछ है, okay, but you need to remember each and everything logically and in chart format to quickly recall. सर हमको तो जरूरत नहीं है. देखो, if you are able to recall it now, that doesn't mean you are able to recall it after 10 days. They both are two different things. Okay, you need to cover huge chunk of syllabus, right? And you need to recall it as well. So my advice will be reading everything in pictorial and chart format. Okay, if something is not there, then you need to prepare that on your own. So that will be the best part. So this was about the accounting process and all the formats and all. So while writing these kind of answer, you first need to write an introduction, then a body, and then you need to state a conclusion. Okay, so can you guys tell me what to write in introduction? अभी बात हो रही है accounting process की. So please restrict for the time being your discussion relating to accounting process. I need to give introduction on the accounting process. Can anybody tell me what words I can write in the accounting process? Okay, few more responses I can see. Meaning, definition, etc. Okay. Shivam is saying accounting processes, identification, recording. Very good. Okay. Monali is saying accounting is necessary in every business entity. Very good. Business entity. Okay. Meaning of accounting plus process short note. Okay, Anushri. Perfect. Great. Okay. So where to start? I'll tell you. First, write about business entity. बिजनेस ही नहीं होगा तो अकाउंटिंग कैसे होगी? तो बिजनेस एंटिटी की बात करते हैं. अ बिजनेस एंटिटी हैज टू फॉलो अ सीरीज ऑफ स्टेप्स, राइट? व्हाई? क्यों फॉलो करना पड़ता है? रिकॉर्ड करने के लिए. किसको रिकॉर्ड करने के लिए? फाइनेंशियल ट्रांजैक्शंस को रिकॉर्ड करना, राइट? फाइनेंशियल ट्रांजैक्शंस को रिकॉर्ड करने के लिए. एंड हाउ डू वी रिकॉर्ड? देयर आर मल्टीपल स्टेप्स फॉर रिकॉर्डिंग, like recording, right? Classifying, summarizing. In summarizing, we again have trial balance, right? Like that. We don't need to specify everything here, but we need to write a short introduction. I'll tell you how to write. Okay. And then why do we perform all these steps? So that in order to prepare our financial statements. Why financial statements? In order to ascertain my profit, okay, and financial position. So this how data flows. You need to question yourself, okay, for the introduction and conclusion. First, there is a business. Business needs to follow certain steps. Okay, why? To record financial transaction. Why do we need to record financial transaction? How do we need to record financial transaction? By performing some steps. Why do we need to perform steps? In order to prepare financial statements. और financial statements हमको क्या मिलता है? Profit और performance, right? Performance और position. दो चीजें हमको पता चलती है. इसका एक इंट्रोडक्शन बनाना है, ठीक है? बताऊंगा कैसे बनाना है प्रॉपर फॉर्म में, ठीक है? अभी ऐसे ही ऊपर से बता रहा हूँ, डिटेल में बताऊंगा हाउ डू वी राइट दिस आंसर. फिर उसके बाद हमको लिखनी है बॉडी. अच्छा बताओ, अब इंट्रोडक्शन में वी रोट ऑल दिस थिंग, तो बॉडी में वी कैन डायरेक्टली जंप टू अकाउंटिंग प्रोसेस. यहाँ पे आप चालू हो जाओगे. रिकॉर्डिंग क्या होती है, कहाँ पे होती है? वेयर टू क्लासिफाई, राइट? वेयर टू समराइज. 3 statements will be there: trial balance, trading P&L and balance sheet. एंड उसके बाद क्या करेंगे हम? एनालिसिस एंड इंटरप्रिटेशन, और लास्ट में कम्युनिकेशन. ये पूरी आपका बॉडी का पार्ट बन जाएगा. ऊपर से जो हमने इंट्रोडक्शन दे दिया, फर्स्ट वी गिव अ क्विक इंट्रोडक्शन, ओके, अप्रॉक्स 30 to 40 words you can choose, no problem in that. Then again you can in body you can explain the entire accounting process, like recording कहाँ पे होगी, where to record transactions. अच्छा, जर्नल में रिकॉर्ड होंगे, उसका भी ड्रिल डाउन करना हो तो क्रोनोलॉजिकल ऑर्डर में रिकॉर्ड होता है, राइट? बुक्स ऑफ प्राइमरी एंट्री वी कॉल जर्नल को, like this. And then we need to give a conclusion. Okay, so there are few general sentences which you can always write in introduction and conclusion. I'll tell you gradually. Okay, regularly I'll be telling you those lines. So let's start, guys. Let's have a look कि इसका proper answer कैसा लगता है. First, introduction. The accounting process is a series of steps. Okay, great. Series of steps followed by a business entity. यार ये तो वही approach है. Business entity को series of steps follow करनी पड़ती है. Keywords याद रखना. देखो, you always try to remember the keywords, not the entire para for the time being. First gain your understanding on the keywords. अरे पहले कीवर्ड तो याद करो, then we will be learning how to elaborate, right? Directly elaborate करोगे तो keywords याद नहीं होंगे. Okay, so accounting process is a series of steps followed by a business entity to record business transactions, financial transactions, क्योंकि non-financial transactions are never recorded in the books of accounts, right? And it includes steps like, then you can say collecting, identifying, classifying, summarizing, recording, like this. Okay, so this gives you a proper introduction. Why do we perform all these steps? In order to prepare the financial statements, right? Why do we prepare the financial statements? In order to ascertain the profit and know the financial position. 40-50 वर्ड तो यही हो गए. right? If say for example this is a 10 marker question, then 40 words तो यही हो गए आपके अप्रोक्स 30 to 50 words के बीच में आपका इंट्रोडक्शन ही हो जाएगा. In approx 250 words you will be answering this question. So आपका इंट्रोडक्शन ही 30-40 वर्ड लेके चला गया. Next, if I talk about body, then here you can, you know, give all the relevant data. Like first step is identification and measurement of financial transaction. Like the transactions can be monetary as well as non-monetary. We need to record only the monetary transactions. Sir, or content बढ़ाना है, great. You can increase your content. Give an example. Hiring a CFO or firing a CFO is not a financial transaction, whereas paying him salary is a financial transaction. Content बढ़ता जा रहा है. You are increasing the content now, right? So that's in your hand always. Next is recording. Where do we record transactions? In journal. Sir, content और बढ़ाना है. Okay, right. Journal is a book of primary entry, right? Entries are recorded in chronological order in journal. You can write this also. Then we need to follow the classification, right? After preparing journals, after passing journal entries, we need to classify them in the ledger accounts. What is ledger? Books of final entry. Here we can see the account level data. In journal we are able to see the entry level data. Content बढ़ रहा है अब, right? But this happens only when your concepts are clear and you have studied that chart. Then you need to summarize the data. अच्छा, summarization में 3 bifurcation कर सकते हो: TB, P&L, trading P&L and balance sheet. In trial balance you can write, this shows your arithmetical accuracy. Trading P&L account shows your performance and balance sheet shows your position. All the nominal accounts are closed in trading P&L account. अब मैं जा रहा हूँ traditional approach पे directly. Whereas your personal and real account are transferred to your balance sheet. What is trial balance? It is a summary of your closing balance of your ledger. जो भी ledger में closing balance बच गया, whatever closing balance is left in your ledger goes to your trial balance. Very easy. That's your summary part. Next, if we talk about analysis and interpretation, why do we analyze things? In order to make meaningful judgments. What is analysis and interpretation? Ratio analysis, if I say. This can be both ways, intra-firm as well as inter-firm. Say for example, if I am comparing current ratio of Mr. Ambani's balance sheet with Mr. Adani's balance sheet, this is an inter-firm comparison. Reliance का और Adani का comparison हो रहा है. If I talk about intra-firm, firm के ही अंदर, अच्छा इस बार ना I am comparing 2023 figure of Reliance Industry with 2022 figure of Reliance Industry. एक ही firm के अंदर 2 financial year में comparison. Current year का comparison with previous year. That's an intra-firm comparison, right? And then at last you need to communicate everything to the users of financial statements. Users can be both internal as well as external. Internal users are like your employees, right? Your shareholders. And external users can be your maybe bank or any other party, related party, right? So in this way you will be writing everything in your body. The issue is everyone knows what to write in body, okay, but everyone faces difficulty in writing the introduction, because this part you need to create yourself. This part we have already memorized it, right, while studying the accounting process. So at least you will be able to write half of it. But when it comes to introduction, it will waste your time. Okay, so always remember कि जो body होती है उसी के अंदर से आपको एक introduction देना रहता है. Okay, you need to just summarize it and give a quick introduction. Sir, what about conclusion? So conclusion, we need to write common lines. Like accounting process is a vital business, okay, vital tool for business. Why? अगर accounting process नहीं होता तो ट्रांसपेरेंसी कैसे आती? ट्रांसपेरेंसी अकाउंटिंग में आ ही नहीं सकती थी. ट्रांसपेरेंसी, informed decisions, these are common lines. I'll tell you why these are common lines. And meet regulatory requirements. Now say for example question comes from tax audit, GST audit. Why do we need to do audit? Obviously to maintain financial transparency. This point will again work there also. Again need to meet the regulatory requirements. This point will meet there also. Okay, so don't worry about the conclusion. It's not a big deal. You just need to connect your introduction, your body, okay, and just need to wrap up things in conclusion. यहाँ पे अगेन वहां पे सब खोल के मत बैठ जाना कि अरे अकाउंटिंग प्रोसेस वो होता है, ये होता है, नहीं। यू नीड टू रैप अप। देखो यहाँ पे कैसे लिखा हुआ है, इट इन्वॉल्व सीक्वेंस ऑफ स्टेप्स। सीक्वेंस ऑफ स्टेप्स मतलब यही वाली स्टेप्स। नाउ यू डोंट नीड टू अगेन रिपीट ऑल द स्टेप्स, जस्ट कंक्लूड, starting with the identification of transaction and concluding with the preparation of financial statements, or I can say giving that information, providing information to the user। सीधा पहला पॉइंट लिखा और लास्ट पॉइंट लिखा, खत्म। अरे कंक्लूड करना है भाई, राइट? वी नीड टू कंक्लूड थिंग्स, वी नीड डोंट नीड टू अगेन reiterate again and again things, right? In this way you can write your conclusion। यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा ज्यादा बड़ा लिखा हुआ है, okay, you can write short also, no problem, 3 to 4 lines will also work। and at last you can write lines like this process ensures financial data systematically recorded, analyzed, and you know reported, serving as a foundation of strong financial management and accountability। so these are some of the common lines which will work for every question, okay? But you need to write a good conclusion, okay? So Anushri is asking what is the word limit, okay, very genuine point, okay? So word limit, I will say, if it is a 10 marker question, try to write at least 200 to 250 words, okay? Try to write at least 250 words। if it is a 5 mark question, go for 350, go for 350 to 400 in between, okay? So this will be your word limit। and if I talk about this question, आपके 40-50 वर्ड तो यही हो गए, ओके? उसके बाद ये देखो, इतना बड़ा बॉडी और उसके बाद इतना बड़ा कंक्लूजन, this will be somewhere around 260 to 270 words, okay? So no worries with that, if you know the content, don't worry about the words, you will go, okay? And do remember, in order, this word limit, you will only try to focus on this word limit while practicing mock test in your in your routine। don't try to keep that in mind while writing exams, okay? They're automatic, you will be gaining an intuition कि हाँ 250 वर्ड्स हो गए, नहीं तो वहां पे वर्ड गिनते रह जाओगे सब, ठीक है? तो वहां पे फोकस मत करना वर्ड पे, क्योंकि वहां टाइम कम होता है। बट डू प्रैक्टिस, इतना प्रैक्टिस कर लो, ओके? प्रैक्टिस एज हार्ड एज यू कैन, सो दैट वर्ड लिमिट्स आपके ऑलरेडी सबकॉन्शियस में आ जाए, आपको पता चल जाए कि हाँ 10 मार्क के लिए मैंने बहुत लिख दिया है, 15 मार्क के लिए आई हैव रिटन इनफ। सो दिस वाज जस्ट अ ग्लिम्स ऑफ अ क्वेश्चन, ओके? अकाउंटिंग प्रोसेस के बारे में ऐसे ही हम रोज क्लासेस में डिस्कशंस करेंगे, एंड आई विल बी टेलिंग यू try to tell you more and more questions, very important questions which might come up in your examination। so some of the important questions, वैसे सभी important है, whatever we are learning in live classes is important still। accounting process is important which we studied। फाइनेंशियल अकाउंटिंग वर्सेस मैनेजमेंट अकाउंटिंग वर्सेस कॉस्ट अकाउंटिंग, तीनों अकाउंटिंग में डिफरेंस क्या होता है? इंडियन अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड इंड एस वर्सेस अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड वर्सेस आईएफआरएस, यू शुड हैव एन आइडिया ऑफ दिस, okay? Auditing process, just there is a accounting process, there is a auditing process also, and types of audit, in that too forensic audit, very important, environmental audit, okay? Multiple times have been asked in descriptive examinations। vouching and verification, you should know the vouching and verification difference if you have studied auditing। types of audit report, again important, what types of audit report an auditor can give, okay? unqualified opinion, qualified opinion, we'll discuss in the coming few classes। some hot topics like emerging technologies, financial technologies like blockchain, okay? what a blockchain is, okay? auditing part and income tax part। so here what happens is audit and income tax both are merged। इनकम टैक्स के हिसाब से ऑडिट कैसे होती है, जीएसटी के हिसाब से ऑडिट क्या होती है, जस्ट द प्रोविजनिंग पार्ट ऑफ इट, नॉट द एंटायर प्रोसेस, ओके? कि करके बताओ ऑडिट इनकम टैक्स, नो, just the provisions, okay? so you should have a understanding on these areas as well, and few other topics also you'll be studying in our live classes, not few, many topics we'll be studying in our live classes, okay? now let me come back to my discussion। first of all I would like to tell you guys, okay, can anybody tell me कि हमको क्या याद आता है? can anybody tell me? say for example, if I have read approx 50 pages, what I will easily get to remember, what I can easily recall, can anybody tell me? Everybody please try to share his or her opinion. If I read 50 pages, okay, कौन कौन से टॉपिक्स उसमें से, which topics I'll be easily able to remember? Just share your opinions. I have a very interesting thing to tell you on this part. Diagram based, okay. Monali says out of 50 pages only 10 pages, okay, that's 20%. Any other opinion? Okay. Okay, important keywords which you already knew or which are interesting part, right? That's a fair answer. Understand part of that material. Okay, great. So guys, let me tell you, we don't remember what we have studied last time. Okay, focus on my words. We don't remember what we have studied last time. We remember what we have revised last time. आपने जो लास्ट टाइम पढ़ा था वो आपको कभी याद नहीं आएगा. आपने जो लास्ट टाइम याद करने की कोशिश की थी, रिवाइज करने की कोशिश की थी, ओके, यू डोंट रिमेंबर व्हाट वी हैव स्टडीड, वी रिमेंबर व्हाट वी हैव ट्राइड टू रिकॉल लास्ट टाइम. से फॉर एग्जांपल अकाउंटिंग प्रोसेस, अभी इसका रिवीजन करवा दूंगा आपको, कल आपको ये याद आ जाएगा. पर अगर इसका रिवीजन नहीं किया तो ये याद नहीं आएगा कल. दैट्स द मेजर इशू. We study, we keep on studying, we don't try to recall. Okay, हमारा knowledge base बन जाता है, but that recalling capacity वो नहीं बन पाती, that writing capacity वो नहीं बन पाती. So focus on that. Okay, focus on multiple revision. After studying, close your book, close your PDF, and then try to recall it. Don't forget this thing. Okay, this will help you in remembering most of the things. When we study a thing, we gain a confidence कि हाँ आता है, 10 दिन बाद पढ़ते हैं हाँ आता है. Once we study that thing, after we try to recall it after 15 days or 20 days, that's gone. That's the issue. So continuous revision, whatever we are learning in class, the PYPs, okay, recent updates, you should be having an understanding of that, and you need to continuously revise that, recall that. Okay. So we just discussed about, yes, mock test practice is the most essential. Why? Because आपको एग्जाम में तो वही करना है, वहां बैठ के रिकॉल थोड़ी करना है, वहां बैठ के रिवाइज थोड़ी करना है, वहां तो मॉक टेस्ट देना है. यू नीड टू प्रैक्टिकली डू इट. सो आपका मॉक टेस्ट बहुत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है. ओके, नाउ लेट्स डिस्कस अबाउट टाइम मैनेजमेंट एंड देन वी कैन कंक्लूड आवर सेशन. सो टाइम मैनेजमेंट, ऑब्जेक्टिव सॉर्टेड. यहाँ आपको 30 मिनट लग सकते हैं बिकॉज देयर आर सम पैरा बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस आल्सो. ओके, let me talk about the descriptive because this is the place where the actual mess happens, the time management mess happens. Okay, so there are 6 questions. Out of 6 you need to attempt 4 questions. Great. Out of these 4 questions, 2 questions are of 10 mark each and 2 are of 15 mark each. Word limit I already told you, here 250, here anywhere around 300 to 400. Okay, so what happens is, how much time do we have? 90 minutes. This is not actually 90 minutes. First I would like to subtract 10 minute. सर क्यों सर? देखो 10 मिनट में से जब आप स्टार्ट करोगे पेपर करना, तो then you need to take a call. What to leave, right? Why? क्योंकि आपके पास तो 6 क्वेश्चन है ना, you are having 6 questions. You need to take a call कि मुझे क्या छोड़ना है, उन 6 में से कौन से 2 ऐसे हैं that I need to leave, or you need to decide that उन 6 में से हमको कौन सा करने हैं 4. तो आपके 5 मिनट, I will say 3 to 5 minutes आपके इस टास्क में चले जाएंगे. इस 10 मिनट के अंदर से एक और चीज होगी, यहाँ लिख देता हूँ. 5 minutes आप रिव्यू के लिए छोड़ सकते हो. Whenever you are done with your exam, these 5 minutes can be keep reserved for a last 1 minute 5 minute review, just a overall understanding of whatever you have written, major points, just the major points. ठीक है, बचे आपके पास 80 मिनट. 80 मिनट बच गए सर हमारे पास, अब क्या करें? देखो 35 मिनट्स यहाँ अलोकेट कर दो और 45 मिनट यहाँ अलोकेट कर दो। ऑन एन एवरेज आपके पास यहाँ पे आ जाएंगे 17.5 मिनट्स। ओके, अप्रोक्स 17 मिनट्स बोल देता हूँ। और यहाँ पे आपके पास आ जाएंगे 22 मिनट फॉर ईच क्वेश्चन। ये 15 मार्कर है, यहाँ वर्ड्स आपको ज्यादा लिखने, टाइम भी ज्यादा चाहिए ऑब्वियसली। ओके, सो ट्राई टू कंप्लीट ईच एंड एवरी क्वेश्चन इधर 17 से 18 मिनट में, अगर 10 नंबर का है तो। इफ इट इज ऑफ 15 मार्क्स देन ट्राई टू कंप्लीट इट इन 22 मिनट्स, बिकॉज दैट्स ऑल द टाइम यू हैव। ओके, पर क्या होता है ना एग्जाम के अंदर, व्हाट हैपेंस इन एग्जाम, जब आप लिखना चालू करते हो तो पहला क्वेश्चन आपको हमेशा बहुत अच्छे से आता है। ओके, एक ऐसा क्वेश्चन होता है जो आपको बहुत अच्छे से आता है, या दो ऐसे क्वेश्चन होते हैं दैट यू नो रियली थॉरली रिमेंबर। सो व्हाट हैपेंस इज कि वहां आप पूरा अपना पावर लगा देते हो लिखने में। ओके, यू विल राइट दैट 250 वर्ड्स छान के एकदम बढ़िया। ओके, प्रेजेंट करके। दैट्स द मेन प्रॉब्लम, दैट्स द मेन प्रॉब्लम। व्हाई? because whenever you are giving too much time to two questions, the another two questions 100% ignore होंगे, या तो टाइम ही नहीं बचेगा। okay, you will be running out of time, or you are not able to give proper attention to it. Can you guys tell me what is better, doing two questions very well and two questions below average, or four questions on an average? Shivam is saying four questions. I agree with you, Shivam. Doing four
On
questions, pardon?
an average, 4 questions will be attended.
Right. Always keep this in mind. But what happens is, अभी आप लोग कह रहे हो 4 क्वेश्चन, पर जब एग्जाम में जाओगे and whenever you will be seeing this question like accounting process, you will be desperately on attempting that question. उसमें आप 200 की जगह 400 वर्ड लिख के आ जाओगे. That's not a right approach. That's a biased approach, I will say. Right? That will kill us in the examination. Why? Because that will kill your time. And eventually, 2 questions आपके below average चले जाएंगे. This is a biased mindset. Okay, always try to maintain a balance, guys. आपको 4 क्वेश्चन अगर एवरेज करोगे, आपको ज्यादा नंबर मिलेंगे एज कंपेयर टू 2 बहुत अच्छे से और 2 बहुत घटिया तरीके से करने पे. You will always get more marks in this strategy. Okay, so try to be unbiased in examination. And what is the best part of descriptive paper? I'll tell you. It's open for all, right? It's open for discussion. There's no restricted approach कि ये 4 ही options हैं and you need to tick one among them, right? So you can express your opinion at least, and you will be also getting some marks for that if it is a related opinion, right? That's the most positive point of descriptive examination. And do remember, full marks बहुत कम मिलते हैं, so that's why I am telling you 4 question average is the right strategy. Okay, try to gain some marks in each and every question, good amount of average, on an average marks, try to gain in every question, instead of getting full marks in 2 questions and getting close to nothing in 2 questions. That's not worth it. Okay, so objective, coming to objective, much बहुत सारा discussion हो गया descriptive पे. Coming to objective, there's no such specific strategy. Objective का होता है आपके concepts should be very clear. Okay, आता है तो आता है, नहीं आता है तो नहीं आता है. If you know the objective, you know the objective, or if you don't know, if you don't know. यहाँ पे कुछ नहीं लिख सकते. So practice as many MTs as you can, practice as many previous year papers as you can, and there are some special sessions on 2 sessions on MCQs as well, where me and Prachi ma'am will be covering multiple kinds of MCQs, okay, which are very relevant for your examination. Okay, so majorly this was all from my end, guys. Okay, try to remember the key points first. That's my first that's my first advice while coming to descriptive. Try to remember key points first. Like, try to remember this table first. If I talk about this question, right, then you are able to remember the descriptive part of it, the elaborative part of it. What happens in descriptive paper is, say for example, if you somehow manage to create a good knowledge base of example 400 to 500 words you are having in accounting process in your mind, you will start to write each and everything. That's not a good approach. First you need to filter that. जर्नल में क्या लिखना है, बुक्स ऑफ प्राइमरी एंट्री गुड, क्रोनोलॉजिकल ऑर्डर गुड, बस बहुत है, और कुछ मत लिखना चालू करो। लेजर में क्या लिखना है, बुक्स ऑफ फाइनल एंट्री ठीक है, अकाउंट लेवल डेटा गुड, समराइजेशन में ट्रायल बैलेंस, अर्थमेटिकल एक्यूरेसी, समरी ऑफ ऑल द लेजर क्लोजिंग बैलेंस, खत्म। ट्रेडिंग अकाउंट में फाइनेंशियल परफॉर्मेंस, बैलेंस शीट में पोजीशन, काम काम की चीजें लिखो, राइट? उससे आपका टाइम भी बचेगा, आपके वर्ड्स भी अच्छे अच्छे पूरे होते जाएंगे। If you remember a question very good, that doesn't mean you will write 400 words, 500 words in it, right? Unless until required. So always filter if you have created a knowledge base, but first create a knowledge base. So guys, this was all from my end in the introduction class. Okay, here we talked about multiple things like the exam pattern, and I gave you an example also on how to write. So guys, all the very best, and I hope कि आगे के sessions interesting रहे, engaging रहे. Okay, and try to be participative all the time. Okay.